Alright, so the first thing I want to say in this video is I'm going to show you how to repair the Beats X headphones, the Beats by Dre, the Apple ones that have the connection problem on the charging side. The white light will come on sometimes. When you push the wire into the charging side, they tend to work again for a little bit, then they'll stop working. I bought a new pair, and once I got home, I said, alright, since my old pair is kind of going to just get thrown in the trash anyway, let me play with it for a little bit and see if I can fix them, see if I can figure out what the problem is. I didn't see any other solutions on the internet or on YouTube about how to get in there and put this connection back together. Perhaps it was simple. It ends up being not too bad. You do have to be careful. I am not an Apple technician. I am not any kind of electrical engineer or anything. Just a dude with some Beats X that were not working, and I decided I would give it a shot to try and fix them. So watch the video. If you have a pair that has the connection issue on the charging side, I did watch the video on the battery, and it was helpful, but I don't think it was very helpful. So hopefully this helps, and you get your Beats X working again. So I just took my razor blade, box cutter, with a really sharp knife on it. You don't want anything that's going to be dull or because you might just slip, cut your hand. You might slip and cut a wire that you don't mean to cut. All you want to do with the razor blade is cut the rubber, because the rubber grommet that goes onto here is glued down really well. Pulling it off of this white piece, maybe you could apply heat or a solvent and try to make it work, but for me, I really didn't feel like investing a ton of time into it, so I just started cutting. As you can see, I cut the rubber away up this far. I even cut into this cord here to get a look, to see if that's where the connector was, and it is not, and you should not cut into this, so leave that alone. Basically, once you get all the rubber removed from here by cutting it away slowly, carefully, what I did was I took the razor and I even started going in between the connector and the body here. So there's a lot of silicone, just like an adhesive to keep them together. So you want to just scrape out as much as you can. I even use like a pick tool like this. You're going to need one of these to work on this and get this done. To try to get in there and just kind of clean away everything you can. After that, I did take the razor and I cut this end up a little bit where it goes into the body, just to give it a little extra play. So at this point, I have them put back together in a way that if you had done that work, this is where you would be. You can try to pull on it, and that might not work at this point for you because there's probably still adhesive inside here. So what I did was I took the pick and I went inside the charging point, and some people might freak out about this, but if you have broken headphones and you just want to give it a shot, you know, why not? That's what I figured. They were broken. I was going to chuck them anyway. And I just kind of went in here and I pushed in from the inside to give it a little helping hand. Let's see if I can pull it from this side. I put them back together really well so that I can make this video. Perhaps I put them together a little too well. See, this is some of the struggles you're going to have. Obviously, that kind of tilted and popped. Pull on it. There's not a lot of wiggle room between this cap and the charger port. So again, I'm going to go in here and try to give it a push. Give it a push from the back. Came off, and it pulled through some of the body with it. You could see here this little bit that, you know, wasn't visible before. So now if you want to play it the safest route, you can try to push it up from the back. A little snap, you heard that. I wouldn't pull this just yet because the wires. I would just try to take the pick and move up as much as you can. See, that just slid out. Now, one thing I will tell you is that I did, let's see if I have it here. I did remove a part from the reinstallation because it was just giving me too much hassle. I didn't feel like dealing with it. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. It's right in the cameras. Right off the camera. So this part right here. This guy is like a rubber seal that goes around the charger port, I guess to keep junk out from getting inside of here. But sliding it back together can be a little tough because it bunches up as you try to get the connector back in. So pull it all out. And now when you pull yours out, see, just getting that beyond there. It's already come apart. When you get it out, these wires are going to be taped. Sorry for trying to do this. These wires are going to be taped to this with this black piece of tape. Also, this is the connector that comes apart, and it goes into this little slot here. Now, this slot, it's going to be this black rubberized stuff. It's going to be all around here as their poor attempt to hold it in. And I call it that because too many people seem to be having problems with this connector pulling out. Go ahead. Well, what I did first, I want to show you. Deoxit D5. I have another video about this stuff, cleaning up a Game Boy. I love this stuff because it cleans. There's going to be a lot of sticky stuff on this that they use to try to hold it all together. And this will help sort of lubricate it. It's safe on electronics, but it helps clean off some of that sticky stuff just naturally, dissolves it. At this point, you see, even after it's dissolved enough, I'm pulling off this piece of tape. God, I have you guys looking in the corner. I'm so sorry about that. Kind of looking at what I'm doing while I have my iPad in front of me. So, I'm not a professional video maker. I'm just a dude. Let's see. Put this back in. Bum, 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 bum. And now, if I go over here to the power button, it wants to power up. I must not have it right just yet. Deoxit is going to make it very, a little slippery. So it's going to give you the opportunity to work with it. So now it's flashing back and forth. It's doing that. And my iPhone is looking to connect. Unlock to connect. Maybe you heard that there, but that's the sound. So there's my Beats X. They're connected, and if I pull that connection off, I was expecting that to disappear. So now you can see that Paul's Beats X are not connected. Put it back in. Connected. Okay, so now the tricky part. Like I said, I pulled this rubber piece off. It's going to be around this charging port. I really should get some glue and just glue this all back together. Alright, so at this point, what I forgot to do was hit the record button, or I messed up somehow, and I lost the video of me gluing the connection back together as tight as possible, getting it in there and making sure that it was powering up correctly. And then I glued the wires down to the body where I showed you that black tape was, to make sure that they wouldn't pull away from, it wouldn't pull the connector away as you reassembled the unit. And then I glued that white cap to the top of the body before I slid it all back together. So I tried my best to make sure it was as slim as possible, so that when everything went back together, it wasn't going to be a problem. And let me grab them real quick. I just electric taped it. I actually have some of the rubber from that I cut off while I was doing the job, and that's something I might suggest at this point, is that while you're cutting the rubber away and peeling it off of the body, if you can keep it really nice, you can glue it back on to the headphone and sort of like get that original factory look if that's something of concern to you. It's not as much concern to me, so I just did that. I'm happy. I made a call. The microphone works. The headphones work, and I feel like I can go back to Walmart at this point and return the pair that I purchased for $100, because these are going to last me as, you know, however much longer. And then when I need a new pair, I'll just buy a new pair. So I hope that video will be helpful if you have a pair of Beats X that have this problem where they're not turning on properly, or when you push that wire in by the charging port, all of a sudden it starts to work again. Now you know what the connector looks like. It's very small. That deoxic really helped to remove all the glue and sort of goop that was on there from the adhesives they'd used. Remember, take your time, move slow, be careful with the razor. Again, make sure you have a sharp one, because if it's dull, you're going to have to apply more pressure, and applying more pressure, there's more chance you're going to make a mistake. That's something I learn often when I'm cutting up boxes and selling stuff on eBay. So anyway, like I said, do this at your own risk. This is just me showing you what I did to get mine working again. And if you enjoyed the video, I found it helpful at all, please leave me a like. I would really appreciate it, or follow. Trying to build my channel here, because I'm just a guy who's trying to explore new territory and share it with the world. Alright, thanks for watching.